Syllabus Introduction. I am your professor, Dr. Eddy Witzel. So the textbook is version 3 of Operations Management, version 13 of Operations Management by Stevenson. So here's some pictures of the covers. You can also use the 11th or 12th edition. I will give the page numbers for all editions if I have you look up a page number. There's slight differences between them, but they have pretty much the same content. About 99% of it is the same, and everything you need for this course is the same across all 3 editions. My office hours, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. When I go to bed, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so don't worry about texting me or calling me in the middle of the night because my phone won't ring and wake me up. If I'm awake, I'll answer the call. I will respond as soon as I can, usually within 24 hours. Texting is preferred, but please tell me who you are in the first text. After that, I can add you to my contacts. I'll know who you are. My phone number, and my email address. Zoom meetings. So we're going to have several Zoom meetings, and look on D2L for the meeting dates and times. If for some reason you cannot participate in one of the Zoom meetings, please text or email me prior to the start of the meeting. So this is the Kolb learning cycle, and this is how I like to teach the class. It's people learn different ways, but you also go through this circle. So if you start on the right hand side, there's reflective operation. Let's say you're learning how to ride a bike. You look at someone riding a bike and you say, oh, they sort of turn the pedals and they turn everything. So then you start thinking about it. Maybe someone's actually teaching you. They say, well, if you start to tip over one direction, you turn that direction with the steering wheel. If you tip the other direction, and the concept is you pedal and steer at the same time. Then you try doing it. So you might have training wheels. You might have, when you're a kid, a mom and dad holding on to the back of the seat to keep you from falling at first. And then you actually start feeling it of how you ride the bike. You might fall down a few times. If it doesn't work, you might go back through this cycle again. So you watch someone ride the bike, and then you think about it again, and then you try it again, and then you start to feel it a little bit better. You go through this cycle. So in this class, as we're talking about different concepts, first, as you think of a concept, think about something that you've done that's related to that concept, or an experience. You could something that makes sense to you. And then as you learn new concepts, just watch for things. We learn something about a restaurant. Next time you go to the restaurant, watch it. So this whole Kolb learning cycle works really well for learning. Grading. Class participation, including discussion forums. So we're going to have these Zoom meetings. The discussion forum, that's what class participation is. Book report and presentation. So you're going to do a PowerPoint book report, and half the credit is for the book report and half the credit is at a Zoom meeting. You will present that book report to the whole class. It's 4 to 6 minutes. You can't get it wrong. Just present it, share the knowledge you got from the class. Weekly assignments. Each week we have an assignment that's due, and then there's the case study. So you're gonna that's worth 50 points. There's a term paper that's worth 100 points, and we have quizzes, and so the total points for the course is 450 points. Grading scale: 92% or greater is an A. 90 to 91 is A minus, 88 to 89 is a B plus, 82 to 87 is a B, 80 to 81 is a B minus, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D, and 59 and below is an F. Now, since this is a graduate course, you really need to get a B. So you really are aiming for more than 82%, because if you get a lower grade than that, you're not going to pass the course. You'll have to retake it, even if you got a C or something, and that's because this is a graduate course. Quizzes. So there'll be 5 quizzes. They're on D2L. They're open note, open book, open PowerPoint slides, whatever you want to use, but there's no internet searches while you're taking the quiz, and no communication with other students during the quiz. So can't have someone looking over your shoulder saying it's number A or something like that. You can repeat the quiz as much as a couple of times. PowerPoint book review. So this is due during session 3. So the book review, the book is related to this course. You find a book that's related to this course. You prepare a 4 to 6 page PowerPoint presentation, and you should include this information: the title, the picture of the cover, the author's name, summary of the book. That's the background of the author, including other publications, occupation, notoriety. Describe how this book relates to the course, and it should be a book that you have not read for another class, and also ensure that no other student is already reviewing the same book as you. So there's going to be a discussion forum. Once you pick out your book, the first thing you do before you start reading it is go post what book you're reviewing. And before you do that, you need to look at all the previous posts. Make sure someone else is not reviewing that book. If they are, then you need to find a different book. But there's a lot of books out there. So once you post it on the discussion forum, your book, and no one else has selected it, that book is reserved for you. So if someone else comes along and says, oh, I'm going to review the same book, they can't, because you were first. The case study is due in week 5. So you're going to select a company of your choice, either from the product or service sector. You're going to study, find out whatever information you can about their manufacturing and operating plan. How do they handle inventory? Identify if they have ordering systems. Track the performance of the company for 1 year and summarize the forecast accuracy. So if this is a publicly traded company, you can go look at their annual report, and in last year's annual report they're going to say what they expect for this year, and then this year you can see what they actually got compared to their forecast. So how accurate was their forecast? Come up with some specific recommendations or changes where you would improve their strategic plan. The case study should be 5 to 7 pages in length, and that includes the cover sheet and the references. So you do not have to have academic references for the case study, but you need a minimum of 3 non-academic references. And be sure and use APA format. Term paper will cover one topic from the course. It's your choice. You can have it a very narrow topic of part of one chapter, or you can broad brush a broader area. It's your choice. The term paper should be 8 to 10 pages in length, including the cover sheet and references. The application and understanding of key terms need to be demonstrated in the paper. The paper should include your thoughts about your chosen topic, your experience in the course, practical application of the information to operations management. You must have a minimum of 7 academic references. An academic reference is something from a peer-reviewed journal, a master's thesis, a doctoral dissertation, something. Those are all considered academic courses. And there's a video on how to find academic references at the WAU library, so you can watch that too. Extra credit. So the first point is extra credit is is graded on both content and quality. You can turn in extra credit anytime up until the last session. You submit a total of 2 extra credit assignments for a maximum of 20 points. There's the different options. You can do a YouTube video, self-directed field trip. You can tweet for 30 days, blog for 6 weeks. And you can repeat options 1 and 2 if desired. Now, the most important consideration is that it's harder to do the extra credit than to just do the assignments. So if you just stay on top of things, do the assignments, that's the easiest way to get things done. But if you get down to the end and you're a few points short, this could be a good way to get you out of a hole. Integration of faith and learning. Throughout the course, there'll be opportunities to integrate faith and learning. Occasionally, I will point out scripture that's related to a course topic. You're encouraged to pray for each other and share public prayer requests either privately or publicly. And you're welcome to integrate topics of faith into any assignments that you submit. So here's one of my favorite scriptures. It's Isaiah 45:3. I will give you the treasures of darkness, the hidden riches of secret places, that you may know that I, the Lord, who you call by name, am the God of Israel. This scripture has really significant meaning to me because there was a time where I wanted to apply for a specific training program, but I wasn't sure about it. I decided to wait until the next year. And what happened was I ended up being on the selection committee interviewing the people who were applying that year. And I asked the people, isn't this like a conflict of interest? Because I'm like learning the answers before I apply. And they say, no, it's okay. Because next year's questions may be different. So the following year, I applied and got in the program. And shortly after that, I saw this verse, and it was like God had given me those treasures, those secrets. In this course, there's a lot of treasures of how to run a company, how to be efficient, how to measure things. So this is all about giving you treasures, the hidden secrets, and really so that we can glorify God's name. Academic integrity policy. So the most important thing is that you adhere to the whole bulletin, academic integrity. Make sure that you are not copying work, and make sure that it's your own. And there's tools that I will use that's automatically part of D2L, which I will use to make sure that that the content is mostly yours. So just make sure that you cite anything that you're welcome to have a quotation in your paper, but make sure you cite it appropriately. And if you have some ideas, go ahead and cite those too. And those make great references. Excuse me. Tutoring is available both online and in person for students. Betty Howard Center for Student Success, they coordinate the tutoring. There's the email address and phone number for information. And they can review your paper up to 10 pages, but they require 48 hours notice. Disability service statement. If you have a disability that you need accommodations, please speak to me privately, send me a text, email, call me, whatever. You also need to contact the Disability Services Office. And it's located in that Howard Center for Student Success. And individual departments have different requirements, and you can also contact the department chair for additional information. So summary, we've reviewed the syllabus. I'll look at D2L for information. Everything that you want to know, all the dates are there. Everything is in D2L. And feel free to call, text, or email me anytime.